ever imagine, like, stumbling across the ruins of some forgotten city?
Yeah.
Like a place so advanced but so mysterious, you know?
Right.
Makes you rethink everything you thought you knew about the ancient world.
Total.
That's kind of the vibe we're going for today. We're doing
Yeah.
a deep dive into these lost cities, these civilizations that just vanished.
Yeah, what really gets me about these lost worlds is, well, how they just keep firing up our imaginations.
It's true.
They're not just, leftovers from the past. They're like echoes of how innovative and how structured societies used to be.
Right.
And if we really listen, they might still be teaching us something.
I think you're right. There's this pull,
Yeah.
to uncover what time has tried to bury.
It's fascinating.
These architectural wonders that still puzzle engineers today, art that reveals the heart of these lost cultures.
Absolutely.
And the way they structure their societies so advanced for their time.
Yeah, it really makes you think about the whole human story, doesn't it?
It does.
Growth, ingenuity, and sometimes just disappearing from history.
Right.
By exploring these lost cities, we can maybe see some patterns.
Yeah.
Understand what humans are capable of, both the good and, well, maybe not so good.
I like that. So where are we headed today on this little expedition?
Buckle up.
Okay.
We've got Machu Picchu, the ever-enigmatic Atlantis,
Ooh, a classic.
and the powerhouses of Mesopotamia and the Indus Valley.
This is going to be good.
Each one gives us a unique view into a past that feels both, incredibly far away and strangely relevant.
I agree. And our mission today is pretty straightforward.
Absolutely.
Dig up the most important lessons these lost worlds have to offer.
Now, for you listening, what is it about these lost places that really grabs you?
Good question.
Is it the mystery?
Yeah.
The sheer scale of it all?
The grandeur, for sure.
Or maybe that feeling of connection, Like a human story that stretches way beyond our own time.
I think it's a bit of everything, really.
Probably, yeah.
But let's dive into it. First stop, the iconic Machu Picchu.
Oh, yes.
Remember reading about Hiram Bingham's discovery back in 1911?
Oh, yeah.
Sent shockwaves through the history world.
Big time.
Here was this incredibly preserved city just perched right there in the Andes Mountains.
Amazing.
It showed us just how ingenious the Inca civilization really was.
More than we ever knew before.
Right.
Absolutely. What's really interesting about Machu Picchu, besides the stunning architecture, is the debate about what it was actually used for.
Yeah, I've heard different theories.
Some think it was a royal estate, like a retreat for the Inca elite.
Okay, makes sense.
Because of the incredible stonework and how remote it is.
Yeah.
Others say it had a more religious purpose.
Oh, interesting.
They point to how certain structures line up with astronomical events and the temples there.
I see.
It just shows how complex it is to interpret the past.
Right. It's not just about finding the physical remains. It's about understanding the people who created them. And speaking of interpreting the past,
Yeah.
how about Troy?
Oh, wow, yeah.
The story of how Heinrich Schliemann rediscovered it is almost as captivating as the Trojan War legend itself.
It's a good point.
It's like myth and history colliding, right?
Oh.
Ancient poems guiding actual archaeological digs.
Wow.
It's amazing.
Schliemann's work, it's a perfect example of how these stories we inherit, the legends passed down, can hold grains of truth.
Right.
It shows how important it is to look at all sorts of evidence, not just physical stuff.
I like that. Now, how about a trip over to the Indus Valley civilization?
Okay, yeah.
This is where we see some mind-blowing ancient engineering.
Oh, yeah?
Forget those big palaces for a second. We're talking city planning on a whole other level.
Wow.
Meticulously planned cities with complex drainage systems. Think networks of covered drains, brick ones.
Wow.
Dedicated wastewater management.
Seriously.
That rivaled, even surpassed, what many European cities had centuries later.
That's incredible.
It really makes you pause.
It does.
And rethink what we assume about the past.
Absolutely. What's really striking about Indus Valley cities, like Mohenjo-Daro and Harappa, is how organized they were.
Right.
And the engineering skills they had.
It's impressive.
Standardized brick sizes, intricate drainage, it all points to advanced public health and urban management.
And yet, somehow, this knowledge faded.
Yeah, it's a head-scratcher.
It makes you wonder about their society, their structure, and why this knowledge seemed to have been lost.
Very interesting.
Speaking of head-scratchers, there are the Nazca lines.
Oh, those are amazing.
These massive geoglyphs, basically giant designs etched into the ground, are just baffling.
They're huge.
You can really only see them properly from the air.
It's true.
Animals, plants, geometric shapes.
Beautiful.
It's mind-boggling. The sheer scale and the mystery of their purpose, were they astronomical calendars? Part of some elaborate religious ritual,
Mm,
maybe trying to communicate with, like, celestial
that's a
beings?
good question.
It's a puzzle that still fascinates researchers.
The leading theory is that they scraped away the dark top layer of soil
Okay,
to reveal the lighter sand underneath.
that makes sense.
Quite a feat.
It really is. And they're a testament to the ingenuity and the symbolic expression of these ancient cultures.
They are. And it makes you think about how different societies have tried to understand their place in the cosmos.
So, for those listening thinking, these lost worlds are incredible, but how can I connect with them? We've got some ideas.
Oh, good.
First, the easy one. Immerse yourself in documentaries and virtual tours.
Oh, yeah, there's so much good stuff out there.
They really bring these ancient sites to life.
There's that BBC series, Lost Kingdoms of Africa.
Oh, yeah, that one's great.
Explores some lesser known but equally fascinating civilizations.
It's amazing, right? To be able to, like, virtually walk through Pompeii before it was destroyed or fly over the Nazca lines.
It's so much more impactful than just reading about it.
Absolutely. But speaking of reading, don't forget the scholarly articles and books.
Oh, right. There are incredible historians and archaeologists who've dedicated their lives to uncovering these mysteries.
I mean, figures like Graham Hancock have made certain theories really popular,
Yeah.
but it's also important to check out more mainstream archaeologists like Dr. Zahi Hawass.
He offers a different perspective, especially on ancient Egypt.
It's key to explore these different viewpoints.
Yeah, history is rarely black and white.
Right.
Historians and archaeologists often disagree on how to interpret evidence.
It's true.
Checking out these different interpretations can lead to a much richer understanding.
I agree. And another amazing way to connect with these lost worlds is visiting museums.
Oh, for sure.
Seeing artifacts firsthand, a piece of pottery from the Indus Valley, an Incan textile,
Yeah.
it gives you a real tangible link to the people who made them.
Museums are like guardians of our shared past,
I like that.
giving us a direct encounter with the actual stuff of these civilizations.
Right.
It can really make the past feel more personal.
Places like the British Museum in London or the Met in New York have incredible collections.
Yeah, they do,
Definitely worth checking out.
for sure.
Now, if you want to get even more involved,
Okay, tell me more.
think about joining local archaeological societies or online forums.
No, that's a great idea.
It's a fantastic way to meet fellow enthusiasts, ask questions,
Yeah.
and maybe even find opportunities to participate in digs or events,
These communities are great for discussion, learning, and even some citizen science.
depending on where you are and how interested you are.
Exactly.
And don't forget to keep tabs on current archaeological projects.
New discoveries all the time.
All the time. Following these ongoing investigations gives you a front row seat to the process of uncovering the past.
Yeah, archaeology is always evolving.
Yeah.
New technologies like LiDAR and ground-penetrating radar are giving us new insights.
And challenging our old assumptions.
Staying up to date can be really rewarding.
Now, for the more adventurous out there,
Okay, I'm intrigued.
ever considered experimental archaeology?
Tell me more.
Trying out things like pottery making or weaving using ancient techniques.
Oh, wow.
It can give you a real hands-on appreciation for their skills.
Yeah, imagine making a pot with only the tools they had back in the Indus Valley.
Right?
You get a whole new understanding of their ingenuity and effort.
It's about connecting with the material culture on a deeper level.
It is. You start to realize how much skill and effort went into creating even the most ordinary objects.
And here's another fascinating avenue. Explore local myths and folklore.
Okay,
Stories about lost cities or hidden treasures in your own area.
interesting.
Sometimes these stories, even if they seem like pure fantasy, can hold traces of real historical events
Oh, I see.
or forgotten settlements that mainstream history might have missed.
Local legends are like repositories of cultural memory.
Right.
They may not be literal history books, but they show how past events were understood and remembered.
As we wrap up this deep dive, I think the main takeaway is this. These ancient civilizations weren't just something from a textbook.
Yeah.
They were vibrant, complex societies, a lot like ours,
Absolutely.
filled with innovation, challenges, stories of success and failure.
And their achievements still influence us in ways we might not even realize.
It's true. Looking at the big picture, the allure of these lost cities lies in that mix of mystery and connection.
Yeah.
It's a connection to a shared human story.
They remind us that nothing lasts forever,
Right.
that history repeats itself.
And that we're always discovering new things that change our understanding of ourselves and our place in time. Makes you think about what future generations might dig up about our own civilization, huh?
Yeah,
What stories will our ruins tell? It's a thought worth pondering.
it is.
And if this journey into the ancient world has sparked your interest, there are so many more adventures out there waiting for you.
Absolutely.
The quest to understand our past never ends.
It's always uncovering new layers, offering new perspectives on the human story.
And for a more visual experience of some of the incredible places we've talked about, be sure to check out our YouTube playlist, Ancient Worlds.
It's a great way to dive deeper into what we've explored today.
It is. Until next time, keep exploring
Keep questioning.
and keep those imaginations firing.
See you on the next deep dive.